cozy, maybe listen to this one in the dark as we discuss all things spooky. And Lisa, you starting us off?
So before we get into these stories of possessions and exorcisms that you guys have, I think it's important that we explain what a possession actually is, or I suppose what the church would say qualifies for an exorcism. Because Hollywood has really distorted the idea, and not everyone who starts spouting Latin is in fact possessed by a demon. And actual possession is considered a very rare occurrence. There are generally considered to be different levels of demonic influence.
Okay.
So the first is temptation, which is basically a universal thing that we all experience every day. The ordinary struggle towards fear, sin, addiction. Then there's what some people call oppression or obsession, where someone may experience persistent spiritual disturbances, fear, intrusive darkness, and phenomenon they can't explain. Phenomenon. And then we have possession. What traditionally qualifies as possession are signs that seem beyond normal psychological or physical explanation, such as speaking languages the person has never learned, displaying knowledge they couldn't naturally know, an extreme aversion to sacred objects or prayers, or unusual physical strength completely out of proportion to the person. Be like me if I just lifted up this whole house right now.
Best of luck to you.
You could say I was probably possessed.
I think you're possessed anyway.
If that was the case, I'd be hoping you could fucking levitate places.
Oh, that'd be
yeah.
handy actually.
Yeah.
Maybe
Superpower.
possession won't be so bad after all.
Yeah.
Not if you could control it like that, actually. Like
Yeah, if you could
teleport and
call on it and be like, hey
Yeah.
demon, need to lift this up.
stuff. Yeah,
Or I
come
need
here.
to go here.
Carry
Finger,
me.
in there.
Then you'd have to have control of the demon. That'd be hard work, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because seeing as they like possess you to control your body.
Yeah, because
Well, if a demon tried to possess me, he'd be gone in about 10 minutes. Now, let's be
you're like, I
real.
don't want this body anymore.
He'd be like, fuck this, I'm gone.
My
This
knees
body
are
is
sore.
Back's sore, my knees are sore, headache for the past 2 days.
But, and this is a really important part, the church requires medical and psychological evaluation first from doctors and healthcare professionals. A priest can't just decide someone is possessed because they're acting weird, and neither can any ghost hunters. Zach, here's looking at you.
Yeah.
In fact, most alleged cases are screened carefully, monitored for months, and mental illness is always ruled out before an exorcism is even considered.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, if a priest looked at us, they'd probably be like, give them an exorcism now.
We'll monitor them.
Don't even monitor them. Just
No,
put them
they're-
in the padded room.
They just put us in a psych ward.
Yeah.
But you do see so much clickbait
Unreal.
online with paranormal people
Yeah.
that are like, oh, I was possessed, or he's been possessed, or no,
No.
that's not real. No. So how does it get to the point of exorcism then? Typically, a local priest encounters someone reporting severe spiritual disturbances and refers the case upwards. If the concerns persist after medical and psychological review, then the bishop may authorize an official exorcist, which is a specially trained priest, to investigate further. And even then, exorcism isn't at all like the dramatic battle scenes we see in the movies. Most of the time, it's a structured series of prayers, scripture readings, and rituals focused on liberation and spiritual healing. Get the sage out. It typically includes things like the use of holy water and crucifixes, and commanding the spirit to leave in the name of Jesus Christ. Contrary to what we see in the movies, it can take place over multiple sessions and not just an hour in someone's bedroom.
Yeah.
Because
And not everyone can perform an
It's a
exorcism.
process. You're not going
Yeah.
to return your spiritual
it's not a click of the
beliefs in,
fingers
like,
thing, like, yeah.
an instant.
The major rite of exorcism is only used with explicit permission from the bishop. It is a very serious ritual. I'm going to shout out another podcast here and say if you are interested in more on this topic, you should go and listen to the Exorcist Files.
Oh, yeah.
He does a fantastic job with the way the episodes are
Brilliant.
produced.
Yeah.
It's so good. And it's really interesting. But
And he's had a few conversations with a priest that's performed.
he has an exorcist
exorcisms.
on the top
Yeah,
on the show
yeah.
with him.
I haven't listened to that, mate.
Oh, me neither, but it's so good.
That's brilliant.
But wait until you finish listening to our episode and then you can go
Oh, yeah.
check them out.
Yeah, please.
And with that little explanation over, I am going to hand you to Karen for our first possession story.
So the case that I have chose to do is Annalise Miquel.
So butchering that, but look. So the case of Annalise McKell is probably one of the most famous and controversial cases in modern history. Though it is important to note that those around her claimed it as a medical incident because the possession itself was not established as a fact, even though the Catholic Church was involved. But I have to ask the question, is any possession an exorcism fact?
Yeah, like it's very hard to prove that
Yeah.
that something's a possession.
Yeah.
And if people don't believe in that kind of stuff, they're going to be like, would you stop?
It's one of those things, like, unless you were there
That's very
to
true.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah. And even still,
And even still, you'd
with
be like,
possession, it could be, like you're saying, mental illness, or
yeah.
it's easy to
I like that there's such a heavy influence from Hollywood, like, if they're not, like, bending over backwards and contorting themselves into weird shapes, walking up walls, and
because Hollywood has made it so
dramatic for visual effects, like,
that people expect that.
yeah. And when it doesn't happen, it's like, that's not happening. I've never seen that happen before.
Yeah.
That's what's happening in the movies isn't happening now, so it can't be a possession.
Annalise McKell was a young woman from Bavaria in Germany.
Bavaria?
Bavaria? There's
But
no, there's not.
Bavaria?
Yeah. What's Raina said?
From Germany.
Yeah. She was born in 1952 and she was raised in a highly Catholic family. When she was only 16, she started having psychotic episodes that the doctors diagnosed as a neurological illness. And after suffering from serious seizures, she was later diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy. She was treated with psychiatric and anti-seizure medications for years after. But after a time, the family and Annalise herself started to believe that her symptoms were not entirely medical. She was reporting that she was seeing demonic faces and they were telling her that she was damned. She felt very distressed when she had to enter a church and angry when she had to pray. She avoided religious objects like crucifixes and holy water. She went through periods of intense screaming, self-harm, and sometimes even had unusual physical strength. So it's exactly what you said.
I get a bit angry going into churches too.
I think we all do now, to be fair. Let's be real.
That's probably more supposed to do with the fact that the
Well, no. Yeah.
The Catholic priests had such a hold on Ireland for so long. Still do.
Her family and local priests believe she was possessed. From several recordings and From several recordings and witness accounts, they believe several entities were possessing her. Names such as Judas, Nero, and even Lucifer himself has been recorded. In 1975, two Catholic priests by the name of Ernest Alt and Arnold Raines received permission from the bishop to perform the Roman Catholic rites of exorcism. Over the next 10 months, Annalise went through at least 67 exorcisms. Some of these exorcisms lasted for several hours. During some of these exorcisms, Annalise was said to have spoken in harsh and altered voices, growled and barked like animals. Sorry. She identified herself as different spirits. She tore clothing off herself and injured herself. She refused food and water. She often knelt and bowed compulsively for hours, performing hundreds of genuflections a day. The exorcisms eventually took its toll on Annalise's physical state. She deteriorated rapidly. She lost a dangerous amount of weight. She stopped eating and became bedridden.
I know we're like giggling through this and stuff, but it's actually
Scary.
terrifying. Like,
Scary.
imagine,
Oh yeah,
being in that position. Or imagine her family being in that position, watching it happen. Like, that has to be terrifying.
On July 1st, 1976, Annalise passed away at the age of 23. The autopsy showed she had severe malnutrition and was severely dehydrated. She weighed a mere 30 kgs, that's 66 pounds, at her death. After her death, there was a trial held where her parents and both the priests were charged with negligent homicide, and the prosecution argued she could have been saved with medical intervention. All four were found guilty and received suspended sentences.
I think that's fair. Like,
Yeah.
if she had epilepsy and stuff, she probably, and like conditions from
And like
issues, she probably needed hospitalization.
And it sounded like she was suffering from anorexia as well.
Just she probably had a lot of medical issues going on.
Yeah.
Most historians and physicians interpret the case as a combination of many illnesses, such as epilepsy and psychosis, along with many other ones. Believers in the demonic possession always point to the audio tapes and witness statements as evidence of the supernatural. And skeptics point to the documented medical history and starvation for explaining the girl's behaviour. The tapes are still floating around today, and yes, I did listen to them. And holy Lord, are they scary, I hear you ask? They absolutely are.
Yeah, I'd say they're uncomfortable anyway.
Yeah.
At least.
I actually didn't listen to the whole thing because even Molly was looking at me as if to say, what is that?
Molly's the dog.
Oh yeah, it's my doggy. My 4-legged child. Like, you can hear the priest questioning her. You can hear her speaking in her own voice, but then you can also hear her shouting in guttural voices, screaming the names, growling, lots of heavy breathing. As Lisa said, Hollywood has destroyed it. Like, people think that you go in for an exorcism, you're going to sit in a chair across from the priest and he's just going to talk to the demon and get the demon to flow out of your mouth like something out of Supernatural. But unfortunately, that's not how it goes. There's a lot of...
It takes time.
It takes time. As she said, she went through 10 months of exorcisms. 67 of them.
6, 7.
6, 7. Like, there's no get out of her. You know, it's all the screaming. Sorry. Wow.
I didn't even find that funny till she laughed.
I didn't even realize you.
Sorry.
Wow.
Well, he got out of her anyway, did he?
After 67 exorcisms.
Oh Christ.
The
Well,
last
they almost made it to 69.
Oh.
But she missed out there, didn't she? Yeah, so it's now, I know these videos are, or these tapes are online, so you do have to take them with a pinch of salt, whether
If they're edited or not.
yeah, exactly, but they're there more so for evidence to show that exorcisms are not
Straightforward.
you know, and they're not like what they are in the movies. They're scary. Like, I couldn't even finish that tape because it was disturbing. Like, also, this case might actually sound very familiar to any horror heads that are out there.
Horror heads.
And that is because this is the case that inspired the film The Exorcist of Emily Rose, which is, I think, is a very good film. But again, there was a lot of fiction in that one.
Dramatized.
Yeah. But this is the case that
Inspired it.
And
It's so hard to know with stuff like whether because she had all them illnesses and medical issues anyway.
yeah,
And then, like, if the priests were believing
But if the
it,
priests got on board as well,
it's so hard to know. Like, where,
and the bishop actually said, yes, you can perform exorcisms. Like, she would have had to go through months of examinations first.
it's so hard to know. But then it was years ago, like, so maybe things weren't as it was when the Catholic Church still had more of a hold on people.
Yeah.
So maybe people were more quick to jump to
She's possessed.
religious.
Yeah, but the church weren't.
Religious
Influence.
solutions.
Yeah.
Problems. I don't know.
But then the Catholic Church don't like to say that they actually have exorcists either.
Because
So
it's so taboo. Like, I don't know. It's hard.
it is hard to know. But going by tapes, again, I know they're online, and I did listen to them. I would scary. Like, when she was shouting the demons' names, it was in different tones. Do you get me? Kind of as if to say there was different.
So it's like other voices coming through her.
You know, some were more mannish, some were more childish, some were her own, but she was kind of, as I said, it was more guttural. But the only thing is listen to the tapes if you find them, and see what you think. It literally popped up on my thing. Do you want to listen to the tapes? And I was like,
okay.
Yes. Then I was halfway through them and I was like,
No.
no, turn them off. Holy, like, and you can hear the priests asking her stuff in German, which is interesting because she is from German, as I said, because they're online as well. You'd be like, are they edited? I do not edit it, but listen to them and let me know what you think. No.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I feel like I'd be like trying to analyze everything. Like,
yeah.
And then because it's in German, I'm like, what are they saying?
Yeah. Again, I found this topic really, really interesting. I'm starting to kind of get a bit worried about myself because it's a dark topic. It was like the whole demons, the 7 demons of hell that we did. I'm starting to get a bit worried now.
Sure
I like the dark shit.
You are just a dark soul anyway. So.
That's very true.
We're all the same.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Right. I'm going to pass it on to Emma now.
Mine is a short and sweet little
a
story.
Sweet little story about possession.
An exorcism.
So one of the strangest and most influential exorcism cases in modern history is the story of Ronald Doe, sometimes called Robbie Manheim. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. This is the case that inspired the most famous film, The Exorcist.
Turn up your volume. Until you need to speak louder. You're coming up just tiny on the...
Oh, sorry, I can't help it. I'm only a little voice. The events allegedly took place in Maryland and later St. Louis in the United States in 1949. The boy involved was around 13 years old. His real identity was never officially revealed to protect his privacy. According to reports from priests and witnesses, strange things began shortly after the death of his aunt, who had introduced him to a Ouija board.
Dum, dum,
Ah, Jesus.
At 13, like, it's a bit...
As you do.
I don't know. People claimed that the furniture moved on its own, scratching noises came from walls and floors, objects flew across his rooms, words and scratches appeared on his skin. He spoke in violent, altered voices during different episodes, and his family first sought medical and psychiatric help, but eventually contacted the clergy. Several ministers and Catholic priests reported attempted exorcisms. The most famous session took place at Alexian Brothers Hospital.
Attempted exorcism.
Attempted exorcism.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A bit scary.
That's creepy.
They claimed the boy became violently aggressive. He broke out of his restraints.
Broke out of his restraints?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Reacted strongly to prayers and holy objects. He spoke Latin phrases that he never learned Latin, so they were surprised that he was able to say full phrases in Latin. One priest reportedly suffered injuries during a session after the boy broke free from his restraints and attacked him.
That's
Good
mad.
God.
These rituals lasted weeks. According to the priest's final reports, the possession ended after a dramatic final confrontation in which the spirit supposedly declared it was leaving.
Of course, you just say, I'm
I've
out.
had enough
I'm
of this
done.
shit. I'm done.
Peace out, bitches.
Many historians, psychologists, and skeptics believe the events can be explained through psychological disorders, religious hysteria, exaggeration by witnesses, a misinterpretation of what actually happened. But unlike the Hollywood versions, there's no verified evidence of heads spinning or levitation. Much of the story comes from secondhand accounts and diary notes written by the clergy involved in the case.
I think if a head starts spinning, you can be fairly assured that it's not a psychological issue.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because that's in the film.
Yeah.
Her head spins around.
Yeah.
I watched that when I was 14 or 15, first year, second year, with my friends. And they were hiding behind cushions on the sofa.
Oh, no.
And I was pissing myself laughing.
I did laugh.
That was how I knew that horror films were never going to scare me.
I love horror films, but there's always a point in horror films where they do something and you're just like, oh, it's stupid now. It's like Insidious. Do you know when she puts on that bloody mask
Oh, yeah.
at the table? Why are you putting the mask? You just ruined it now. Like, there's always a stupid point in the horror films. Always.
In the horror film.
In the horror films.
But yeah, if a head started spinning in real life, if that was in the historical documents, I think then you could be
Yes.
fairly sure that it
Yeah.
wasn't psychological. But it is so same with that one. It's so hard
It's
not to
so
say
hard,
it could be
like-
psychological.
And I actually love that film, the Exorcist film. It's an OG.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah.
It was really hard to find any more information on that because it just kept going back and referring to
The film.
that film.
Mm.
And then, like you said in your beginning, there's not a lot of reports of exorcisms.
Yeah, they're
out
kept
there,
kind of
so
quiet.
Yeah.
Like the
there's
church
not-
don't want to romanticize
Broadcast
them,
it.
I suppose.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's that they don't want to
Promote
publicize
them. Yeah.
that
Mm.
actually there are such thing as demons.
Yeah, because then they
demons,
have
or
to
like
say that.
evil spirits or stuff like that, because then you kind of open up the door to the paranormal.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
the church say
Which
isn't real.
exactly. So
Which
how can you
rots me.
how can you say
How can you
angels
say
and
there's- yeah.
demons don't exist if exorcists exist?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they're
Totally
trained
agree.
to be exorcists,
Yeah.
and you have to go through your local priest, who then
Mhm.
has to go through the bishop, who then refers them back for psychological testing,
Mhm.
and then writes to the Vatican for permission to get it done.
Yeah.
And then they grant permission to
And
get
then
it
you say,
done.
no, paranormal's not real.
But then also,
There's
Yeah.
no such thing as
How-
evil spirits. And
how can they say there's no such thing as evil spirits and demons when demons are literally fallen angels?
That's a good
You
point.
see,
exactly.
So
it's
yeah,
the Catholics. This is
there's-
why I
it's all
don't
taboo.
believe in religion
Mm.
anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's all stories.
Absolutely.
And,
And it's
make-believe.
open
to
to
suit
each
whatever-
individual's
yes.
interpretation of that story. It's wrote in ancient scripture that
Mhm.
nobody can speak
Actually
anymore.
understands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd burst into flames if I walked into a church.
You haven't yet, so you're okay.
I haven't been in a church in a long time.
We went into one in
We're often in churches.
Cork.
We're always in and out of churches.
That's a long time ago.
We go to a place in New Ross that is a
a
church
former church.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
regularly.
Forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Maybe I know because I'm watching The Boys and The Deep is on it. It just keeps saying The Deep.
Okay. So I am going to talk about the devils of Ludon. Ludon. Ludon.
Mhm.
The devils of Ludon.
Ooh.
Ludon.
I'm going to tell this in kind of a story format. The bells of Ludon rang differently after sunset. The townspeople noticed it long before the church did. The old stone streets emptied earlier each evening. Merchants shuttered their windows before darkness settled over the town. Mothers pulled children indoors at the sound of disturbance.
I'm
Disturbances.
already freaked out.
Mothers pulled children indoors at the sound of distant church bells, whispering prayers under their breath. Something was wrong in Ludon, and everyone could feel it. It began in the Ursuline convent on the edge of town.
There's always a fucking convent, isn't there? Well, yes, speak for yourself. You bastards.
The sisters first spoke of footsteps, not ordinary footsteps. These echoed slowly through empty corridors after midnight, deliberately, heavy, patient. The sound of boots crossing cold stone floors where no one walked. The younger nuns woke crying. One claimed a man stood behind her bed every night watching her sleep. Another swore she heard whispering inside the walls. Soft voices speaking in languages
I'd be
she
gone.
didn't understand. At first, the Mother Superior dismissed the fears. Jane Ann des Anges, I'm sorry, I butchered her name, believed the convent had become infected by nervous imagination. The sisters were isolated, devoted to prayer, surrounded by stories of demons and witchcraft from a frightened age. But when Jane Ann saw him herself, she awoke sometime after midnight to find a tall black figure standing at the foot of her bed. His face remained hidden beneath shadow. He did not move, did not breathe, did not speak.
I'm a bit afraid to breathe myself now.
Yet she felt hatred pouring from it like heat from a furnace. Then it vanished. The next morning, Jane Ann could barely stand. Her body trembled violently during prayer, her back arched painfully. Her hands curled into claws as other sisters rushed to hold her upright. And when she finally spoke, it was a voice that emerged from her throat that was not her own. It was deep, male, animal. He has come.
Jesus.
The convent descended into terror. Within days, other nuns began suffering fits. They screamed during Mass. Some collapsed convulsing into the chapel floors. Others laughed uncontrollably during prayers before bursting into sobs. One nun clawed at her face until blood ran beneath her fingernails.
Oh, lovely.
Another crawled across the floor on her hands and knees, barking like a dog, while horrified priests watched helplessly.
Thanks.
Word spread quickly through Loudon. The devil had entered the convent. Crowds gathered outside the gates, hoping to glimpse the possessed sisters.
Possessed sisters. Lisa, Emma, get out.
I know.
I can imagine
Around.
though. And people are like gathering outside to have a look at them. Ah, Jesus, get up there and have a look at them nuns.
Just
They've all
to see,
gone
like,
on
She's
mad.
walking on the floor like a dog.
Here's people going in there. Mad.
She's tearing the face off herself. Priests arrived carrying relics, crucifixes, and holy water. Candles burned through the night while Latin prayers echoed against the stone walls. The exorcisms began. The chapel became a theatre of horror.
So basically,
Jesus.
what did they have to perform an exorcist on the whole building? Like,
I'd actually love to. No. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd have been one of them people that.
yeah, same. To be honest, I would be too. I'd be
We
here, I
all
would. Be
would.
through the window. What's going on in there?
Who's possessed you?
Who's possessed who?
Witnesses packed shoulder to shoulder inside suffocating rooms, thick with sweat, incense, and fear. The nuns writhed as priests shouted scripture over them.
Doctor-minded bastards.
Is this a PG podcast?
No, this is
No,
rated
It
R.
was never claimed to be a PG podcast.
never.
I think we stated
a
it's
PG.
not a PG podcast. Some screamed obscenities so vile people crossed themselves in horror. Others spoke fluent Latin despite never studying it. One young priest reportedly fainted after a possessed nun revealed sins he had confessed only in private prayer. Another fled the convent entirely after hearing a voice whisper directly into his ear, "She belongs to us."
Touch her, you die.
But amid all the terror, one name emerged again and again. Urbain Grandier. Father Grandier. Handsome, proud, dangerous. The town already distrusted him. He was known for his arrogance, his sharp tongue, and his defiance of powerful men. Women admired him openly. Clergy resented him quietly. Worst of all, he had insulted allies of Cardinal Richelieu, one of the most feared men in France. Rumours swirled around Grandier constantly. He was accused of affairs despite his priesthood vows. Some believed he practiced forbidden magic, others simply thought he was vain and reckless. Now the nuns claimed Grandier visited them at night in spirit form.
He could visit me in the spirit
Yeah.
form if he wanted.
Yep.
They said he sent demons into the convent. During exorcism, the voices speaking through the women named devils one by one. Asmodeus, Leviathan, and Behemoth. The demons hissed that Grandier commanded them. The church needed no further excuse. Grandier was arrested before cheering crowds. He denied everything, even as interrogators dragged him into the cold prison chambers beneath Loudon. He maintained his innocence. He called the possessions madness, manipulation, political revenge. No one listened. The torture began soon afterwards. His legs were locked into crushing devices designed to splinter bone slowly.
Man.
Witnesses later described hearing screams through prison corridors while priests prayed above ground.
Ah, what the fuck?
He still refused to confess. Meanwhile, the possessions worsened. The nuns convulsed harder than before. Some claimed invisible claws scratched their skin during prayer. Others screamed at empty corners of rooms as though watching unseen figures gather there. During one exorcism, the chapel reportedly filled suddenly with the stench of sulphur and decay. Several spectators fled vomiting into the streets.
Jesus.
Then came the pact.
Oh, fucking hell, this doesn't sound good.
Authorities produced a document they claimed Grandier had signed with Satan himself.
Jesus Christ.
The parchment contained twisted symbols and backward writing. It bore the names of demons alongside Grandier's signature. To the terrified people of Loudon, it was proof enough. on August 18th, 1634, the priest was led to the execution square. The entire town gathered to watch. Grandier could barely walk, his shattered legs dragged uselessly behind him as guards hauled him towards the wooden stake rising above the crowd.
Oh, holy fuck.
Smoke curled into the grey morning sky. Priests urged him to confess one final time. He refused. Witnesses claimed he tried to forgive his accusers before flames swallowed his words. The fire rose higher. The crowd prayed.
But again, this is why I don't like organised religion. They're literally murdering a man
Yeah.
and praying and saying it's in the name of God that they believe in that's supposed to do no harm.
That
Fuck off.
after like a
Torturing
serious
him.
amount of
Yeah.
torture, still denied.
Get a grip.
And back at the convent, the nuns began screaming. Some collapsed instantly to the floor. Others shrieked in voices so inhumane, witnesses later described them as animals being slaughtered. One nun pointed towards the sky and cried, "He is gone." But if the devil had truly left Loudon, he did not leave quietly. For years afterwards, whispers haunted the town. Travellers claimed strange chanting drifted from the abandoned convent after dark. Locals swore shadowy figures appeared in upper windows where no candle burned.
Can we investigate
I was
this
just about to
convent?
say, can we go here?
And many believed the truth buried beneath the horror was even darker than possession itself. Because in Loudon, fear became stronger than reason, and once fear takes hold of a town, it can make demons out of anyone.
Ooh, that's very true.
This has also actually influenced operas and
Oh,
other
cool.
films as well. I can't remember the name of the films, but
Oh, cool.
I was just thinking this would be a good film.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, it is a creepy one because all the nuns in the building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and because they're all religious figures
yeah,
that were involved in it, I think that
Yeah,
makes
that-
it a bit creepier
Yeah,
for some
absolutely.
reason.
Yeah. Yeah, because you automatically think no bad's gonna happen to them because they're
They are
good
religious symbols,
like, that kind of.
and religious symbols are supposed to,
and they're praying to God. Daily,
constantly.
like-
And yet God still let that happen.
Or did he? Or is he real? Or is any of it real? We are suspecting the universe. Who fucking knows?
But that's what I mean. Like, and he still let that happen to you, his religious people.
That are devoted to him.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the priest who was off having his
Extracurricular
affairs.
activities.
With a
Yes.
sharp tongue.
France, here we come.
Yeah. I'd
A
love
wee wee baguette. Sorry.
to, I'd love to get into an old convent or something. Like, something like that. Because could you imagine the dark shit in that? See, here we are now with the dark shit again.
It will be interesting to
Mm.
see if we could find our own evidence or anything like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, to say, did it actually happen? Did it not happen? Who knows?
Mm.
No one will ever know.
No.
As with all of these things, no one will ever get to the bottom of it. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. You can leave your thoughts on possession in the comments. And don't forget, if you enjoy our spooky chats, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes and give us a thumbs up. You can find us on social media under Paragals.Ireland. Please get in touch if you have any paranormal stories you would like to feature on a future episode. You can email us at paragalsireland@gmail.com. In the meantime, stay spooky. Bye.
Bye.